And we are live. Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy, James, where today I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It is not going to happen in this video, but that's okay. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Bess. Y'all say what's up to her.
Good morning. I was eating oatmeal, but good morning. Welcome in, like, share, and subscribe. It is free. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, we're happy to have you. And yes, guys, please subscribe to Mrs. Best. Any reviews or recaps that I don't cover on my channel, it's because we cover on her channel. We have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We're doing exactly right after this. And then we have a slew of other videos to come. So you guys be on the lookout for those. Y'all, we have a lot to talk about and a lot to get through at Belle Collective. So let's not waste no time and get on it. So the video opens up with Latrice. She is having a pop-up stop for people in need. You know, she has groceries and toiletries ready, available for people to drive up to her establishment. They put them in the trunk and y'all be on their way. She should have gave me that address because I needed to pull up my damn self and get me a nice box of stuff myself. But you know, that's neither here nor there. So Selena is helping her put together the packages, and she told her that she and Letitia had actually sat down, you know, had a conversation, and that it went well, and that she actually invited Letitia over to help them out. And Selena is shocked by the news. She was like, "What? That happened? Okay, I see y'all." And it almost makes me feel like these two never really had an issue to begin with, that this is all reality TV fodder, but I digress. So she has a lot of people of importance there as well. She had one of the council members from politics sitting there with them. She's had the news stations. Everybody is, you know, happy that Latrice is giving back. And Latrice said this is near and dear to her because she said that when she was growing up, her family didn't have, you know, much of themselves. You know, they didn't have very much food. And so she understands what, you know, it feels to give back. And I'm happy that she is doing that. Before we get into, you know, Letitia and Latrice sit down with the husbands, Mrs. Best, how did you feel about, you know, Latrice's give back and, you know, having the other girls there to support her? How did you feel about her doing that?
I think my StreamYard camera is tripping. I'm going to try and turn it on one more time, but I thought it was nice. There's not, what the fudge? Oh my gosh, there are not a lot of people on reality TV who give back in such an intimate way. So I appreciate that. A lot of people do give back, but I find a lot of people to give to organizations or do stuff like Med Gala. I like that she went to a community that she's from, that her business is in, and gave directly to them. And it actually looked like she went out to Sam's Club or Costco and picked up fresh items, compared to, unfortunately, a lot of food banks work off donations and give items that are about to expire or are expired. So it was nice that I just respect her for what she did.
I do too. It would actually warm my heart to see her do that, and that she is giving back. And I agree with you. It looked like she did go to Sam's Club or, you know, someplace that, you know, you get those little boxes that they have at the door and pack them up. I'm happy she did it. You know, she gave, and the girls were there to support her. Letitia shows up, and, you know, the girls are, you know, once again surprised because, you know, they said that, hey, we didn't know what to make of you two. When Marie pulls up at the tail end of everything, Marie has some donations as well, and she was a little too late. And she was shocked. She said, "Letitia, is that you in the flesh?" And they said, "Yeah." And jokingly, Latrice said, "Well, Letitia took me out to dinner and we made up and everything." And Marie's like, "I'm so happy for y'all." She goes, "I tried to tell everybody, including Carrie." She goes, "Oh, where's Carrie at?" And Carrie, unfortunately, could not make the event. She was out of town on, you know, on business. And she goes, and Marie said in her confessional, she said, "Listen, I told them they will work it out. We just need to get out their business." I didn't, because Carrie was the one that tried to do the therapy session. But I don't want to discredit Carrie. And this is my reason why, because I feel like Alethea did play a part in pushing the nudge for them to meet up for a better cause, whatever that could be, for the show purposes or personal friendship. So I don't want to discount Carrie just yet. Mrs. Best, do you feel that way too, or is it just me?
I think it looks bad when the new booty has to come in and facilitate peace because
Mm-hmm.
thing was able to do it. So Carrie absolutely deserves some type of credit because prior to Carrie bringing that lady around, they was about to brawl in the parking lot.
Right. I 100% agree. And that's why I said I don't want to discredit Carrie the way Marie was trying to by saying this thing. We, let them, if we mind our own business, they was going to work it out. And I was like, that may have been true, but at the same time, to discredit Carrie for her making an attempt and then it could have been the nudge that pushed them forward. I feel like that's kind of messed up. That really is. That's really messed up. Keywan J is in the building. Hey, thank you for being here. We appreciate you, my love. But yeah, I don't want to discredit Carrie at all. Um, but that was pretty much it. That was the scene for this part. We're gonna move on to the next part, which is Glendale showing up. So Letitia, Latrice, and Cliff are sitting at a table, and Glenn walks in, and he's awkward. He says hi, gives everybody a hug, and everything. And keep in mind, y'all, nobody knows what's going on between Letitia and Glenn except for Latrice. So it is awkward between them as a couple right now, and then also awkward because now they have to talk with the other couple they were just beefing with. So it's a lot going on. Hi, Shani. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. So Latrice said it's a good idea for the men to talk since her and Letitia have been defenses. So the men talk, and pretty much it was all of them saying, well, I feel like you didn't have my back when it came to the whole situation. It was at your house. You brought it up. And Cliff was like, listen, I tell you, not to talk, or anything because they were going to hold everything against you and you weren't going to win either way. And, and Cliff said he didn't have nothing to do with that. Latrice didn't have nothing to do with it, but he's going to always support his wife. Bells and whistles. It was funny when Latrice came out and gave them a drink. He was all like, oh, let's switch it because I don't know. She goes, hey, nobody think about you, Glendale. Ain't nobody talk about you. So they're still talking. And then Latrice and Latrice like, oh, excuse me. Letitia was like, how's it going out there? She goes, they good. They talking. They just going to say 2 minutes of what the issue is. And the rest of the conversation going to be about something else. You know how they get down and they're laughing, giving a good key. So it looks like they're holding well to their truths, Letitia and Latrice. And then once again, Glenn was like, look, I looked up to you like an uncle. You called me your nephew. And, it hurt me that I couldn't reach out to you. It hurt me that I couldn't talk to you. And I'm just looking at them like, oh, my God. This part, Keywan. This part. Because once again, we are mad at the messenger, but not the message. So, Mrs. Best, do you feel in collection of us saying that Glendale took no accountability, and do you think this conversation was even necessary to even have, considering they don't really have an issue?
I'm gonna say something to you, Oxygen or not Oxygen, Oprah Winfrey Network fans. Y'all deal with this bull crap because y'all accept it and keep talking about it. How many times do we have to see this man behave like a child? I'm not surprised he took no accountability. I do not expect him to have accountability anywhere in his life because everyone allows him to get away with not having it. I thought the conversation was weird. It gave feminine. It gave gay. I'm saying what I'm saying. Heterosexual men do not sit down with their friends and need to have a conversation about what they meant to each other and how their feelings was hurt when a friend chooses to stick beside his wife. My husband was watching that with me and was like, this is stupid. My husband said, I wish a Negro would expect me to explain why I'm siding with my wife. That's the wife. If the wife say that she don't want her old husband with your narrow behind, Glenn, then guess what? He not going to be around your narrow behind. And there's nothing you can do about it because that's what an actual united household and marriage looks like. I am not saying that Cliff and Latrice are perfect, but they did what they were supposed to do. When stuff got taken to the next level and Latrice was fed up, she said, we just not going to deal with these people. And Cliff said, I'm going to stick beside her because that's what you do in a marriage. This should not have been a conversation. The only reason that this was a conversation is because Glenn has no idea what it means to be in a marriage. at all. Not as a woman, not as a man, not as a gay, not as a straight. It don't matter how you slice it. This man does not understand marriage worth a doggone damn. So that's all I can really say.
Mrs. Best said a word right there. I 100% agree with my best friend. That is exactly what needs to be said. We can go ahead and move forward. Thank you, friend. Good looking out. So, moving on to the next thing, we have Marie go to an art class with her stepdaughter. This is Cedric's daughter, and they're conversating, and she says, I'm no longer with your father anymore. And, it just didn't work out. I found him to be disrespectful. And the daughter's like, see, I knew it wasn't going to work. I knew that. I told you it wasn't going to work. My dad just got problems and, it happened the first time. And I told you not to go back. So why would you go back this time? And I'm sitting over here looking like, what the fuck am I watching? First off, Cedric, you must not be shit if your own daughter is telling your ex-wife that you ain't shit and she shouldn't have went back to your ass in the first place. That's the first thing that caught me off. And then she said, and don't be going on no dating apps because that's for everybody who's left over. You don't need to do that. What you need to do is go over to Madison, put you on a nice little sexy dress and put you on or your sexy bodysuit with your red lip and just go out there and get you a man. And I said, well, goddamn. I felt a way about it because, I'm not on dating apps right now, but I was like, damn, leftovers? That's how you got to treat us? She said, take your ass to the country club and go get you a nice, man who got some shit. I said, ooh, the girl don't play about mama. The girl don't play. And Marie just couldn't help but just to smile and laugh at the scene because she looking at her like, well, damn. Because even I was like, I guess she said hell. The hell with everything. This is best. How did you feel about the scene with Marie and her stepdaughter? And how did you feel about the advice that was given in the scene?
It was cute, but they could have kept the scene. Of course, I like Marie. I do. I did not before, but they need to make her work for her check. I don't want to hear anything else related to, about, or having to do with Cedric. I don't. I'm over it. I'm over it. I never believed this relationship. The fact that anybody that watches this show could have believed this relationship, I worry for everybody's perception. I including Marie. Like, I just don't take her and Cedric seriously. It's not interesting. They're not Nene and Greg Leaks getting back together. Obviously, Cedric ain't nothing. It was just weird. I feel like Marie just wanted to show this to show, like, Cedric is bad because, look, I still have a relationship with his stepdaughter, but I don't care because you're not dating him. So it sounds mean, but they could have kept it. I like Marie too now. And y'all know I like Marie now, but she needs a story.
I agree. I'm not here for the whole Marie and this whole Cedric storyline. I feel like, okay, you did this season one. We didn't believe it then. We didn't believe it last season when you brought his ass back on the show. So I don't know if just, and once again, I know we had this conversation on my channel before about the dating pool in Jackson. I've heard from many of people, including, Mrs. Best saying she asked a friend of hers as well, is the dating pool really that bad in Mississippi? Because it just seems like nobody can find what they're looking for. So, I want Marie to follow. Maybe that would be a good scene, Marie, is to take your ass to the country club, sit over there, do what Angela Bassett did and wait to excel. Order you a drink at the bar and see what happens. See if, Mr. Right sits next to you and goes from there.
Marie, if we keep it real, she gonna have to get rid of them finger waves and see a posture expert to catch a good man. Like, the way that she hold her body, the way that she talks, plus the hair, it gives that she played for the other team. And she's a beautiful woman, but I'm just thinking, like, if I was a man and I seen her, I would not think that this beautiful woman is interested in a man. I just wouldn't. She gives something else. She just do. So maybe she needs to go see a stylist, figure out a posture team, figure out how not to stand like this. Because that's how she stands. She stand just like that. And then be, now why didn't you? That's how she be doing. Who gonna want that?
She said, honk the horn on their ass, Greg.
Lord. Maria's cool. She just got to change up some stuff and probably date outside of Mississippi. You are correct.
No, I think, yeah, I 100% agree with that. She needs to go somewhere else because this ain't hitting. But speaking of something that ain't hitting, we're going to move on from Maurice and we'll go to Selena. So Selena's over at Mike's house. She's over there picking up, vacuuming, folding up laundry. And I was looking at, before we even got into the scene, I was looking at Mike's decor and I was like, wait, for real? Because I was not expecting a whole bunch of bright ass color furniture and centerpieces and coffee tables with such very interesting patterns. That's not what I pictured in Mike's house. So Mike gets home and Selena greets him, talking about, hey, I just thought I'd come over to your house and, clean up. And he says, I appreciate it. And, she said that they need to have a conversation about finding their forever home. So Mike doesn't want them to really find a forever home. He would prefer Selena to move into his home. But Selena let out the bash. She goes, I'm not moving into your home because there's so many memories. This was a home that you once had with your ex. And I said, skirt. That explains that furniture. Because I was like, there is no way in hell I believe a man like Mike would have that furniture. That furniture has so much elegant touch. I was like, ain't no way in hell he went to anybody's boutique or store and bought that shit. So I was like, okay, thank you for putting that out the bag, Selena. It made sense. Now I can move on with the scene. And she says, I have my house, you have your house. We need to find our home. And he's not making that really a priority. And so she starts answering and, throwing tips. And then he's like, okay, well, maybe we can go ahead and do that. And she goes, our communication, it's a lot better than what it was. But, I just need him to step it up because I want to marry this man in this year and all this. I'm looking at Selena like, girl, okay. Fine, Selena, fine. So, Mrs. Best, how did you feel about the scene with Mike and Selena? And what was your impression of his house when you first looked at it?
I didn't really care about the house. I kind of figured that the exes had something to do with it and they just didn't want us to know that. If you dating at their age, somebody done been up in your house and vice versa with your partner. I think the whole argument is stupid. I don't understand why people don't just say, well, let's get rid of all of our furniture, pick a house, whichever works for both of us, and decorate it from scratch like it's a new house together. Do that or something. This is stupid. I feel like this relationship is like grasping on and hanging on for like dear life. I don't know the reason why. I don't really care because Selena's so new. But what else do you have to show us, Selena? Is this why we have a Birmingham Belle Collective coming? Because I was not moved by this episode at all. Let me just say it as a whole. I was bored. Everything was repetitive, and what was not repetitive, they could have kept. Like, it just seems like she knows that this man is not going to conform in the way that she wants him to. And he knows that she's not going to conform in the way that he wants her to. But they're still staying together while she still talks about questioning a marriage. And then if he take back the ring, Selena give me the type of chick that would cry, but she's questioning the marriage and acting as if she don't want to do the marriage over and over and over and over again. So I'm kind of over it. Like, if they don't, y'all planning a wedding and you haven't even figured out where you're going to live. Like, if you think with that thought process, you're not going to get married, or if you do get married, you'll end up divorced.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they do need to live together full time first. Like, if I'm believing this relationship, like if I'm really believing, them as a couple, I feel like, to me, I'm not marrying somebody I have not lived with yet, especially at the age of those two. And I don't know about Mike's background in marriage, but Selena, we know, has been married at least once before. So I just feel like, to me, I feel like we need to live together.
Even if they don't live together, you should have figured out by this timeline where you're going to live. Because some people don't do that. I remember when my dad got married, because they were heavy in the church. Like, him and his wife did not live together at all until they got married. But I remember months before the wedding, they had worked together, got like their marriage certificate early, purchased a home together because they were able to afford that, but they had that planned out like not too long after getting engaged. So I've always kind of used them as an example and other people I've known who've gotten married. So that's why I'm like, is she doing this for a storyline or is she really just this dumb? I like Selena too, but you're questioning this man's whereabouts, how much he cares. Communication is a problem. Now you telling us he don't want to let go of his welly, colorful, decorated house. You don't want to let go of yours, but you want to marry each other. Like, if that's the case, just don't get married, but stay together.
Yeah, because y'all putting too much pressure on y'all selves, and then y'all have a lot of ifs. The communication, like Mrs. Best said, where you want to live, like everything is it's just y'all are headbutting things, and y'all need to start peeling those things back because you need communication in the marriage. That's the first thing. So if y'all have a problem communicating, then all the rest of the stuff is going to go haywire too. So I don't know. It's just weird. But shout out to DM Rocks who made it in. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for being here. What's the good tea you got for us this time? Because I'm ready for some. Shani said, wasn't it just last season you guys were saying Selena had a wedding? No, we didn't say that last season. I know what we did say. Selena had said in the beginning of their relationship, he was very communicative. He was talking, and I said that he didn't appear that way to me. He looked like he a man of very few words because he was so quiet and didn't say anything. And it could be the cameras in his face. I'm not trying to take that away because he may be talkative outside of the cameras, but he just didn't appear that way for me. So, that's all I was saying. Wasn't Selena ditzy on Bring It with the Dance? I did not watch that show. Mrs. Best, was she ditzy? Oh, okay. Mrs. Best is saying she was. Okay. I did not watch that show, so I can't really say.
She was like, she wasn't dumb, but she would act very like aloof. Like she would act confused about everything, even if it was her being messy or her starting some stuff. And it took a while for her to like grasp and accept things. So I can kind of see Bring It and how her personality was there. That's why I always say I like Selena, because no matter what show she goes on, what era, what year, she really is the same. And that's why I say she may just be dumb. I don't want to say that.
Yeah, I get you.
Who, no shade to her, she's a great mother, but she's been a mom since she was a child.
Yeah.
She describes having her first kid. So I just see somebody who never got to mature in the lane that relates to dating. And I think that's why she moved the way she moved. But Mike don't talk enough for me to even care about their storyline or any of that. So we'll see.
Yes. But that was pretty much their scene. The next scene we're going to get to is Glendale and Letitia. So they meet up at a restaurant together so they can talk because they haven't had a conversation since Glenn big old blow up with the whole first dude, the manager. And I was just like, y'all mean to tell me y'all went all this time and didn't talk about it? Letitia, you didn't go home and start cussing in the eye? Because I would have lost my damn mind as soon as I got home. But, that's just me. So they're talking, and Letitia first starts out the conversation with, the craziness that has happened. She said that First was wrong for approaching Glendale like that. And, she said that right now he took a leave of absence. And Glendale just started smiling, talking about, oh, really? So he still gets a job? He still gets a paycheck? Disrespecting me? He's not fired? And she goes, y'all both were wrong, Glenn. Like, y'all both were wrong. He goes, I'm your husband.
Put up that paycheck, but First, and what he does is helping your wife to have a check, not the other way around, baby. I promise you, Letitia's little funky ass 10% that he get ain't giving him much.
Not to be going through somebody trying to assault me over me telling him I'm not in any contractual obligation to CC you on anything.
Talk about, he still got a job. You will hope y'all still got your rental house because he could sue y'all. You technically his employer.
I'm trying to tell you, but these people ain't smart though. So Letitia was all like, Glenn, I know what it is. You just don't want me to have my own. You just don't want me to be this boss. Like, I need to do this. I need that. I need your support. And he goes, I do support you. She goes, I'm not the woman that I used to be. He goes, and I miss her so much. And Letitia said, I don't. I don't miss her at all. And but I tell you, she went into her Oscar winning speech because I was like, wow, because Glenn was just, he kept going with the insults and, the trying to chastise her in the moment. And she was like, oh my God, see, this is what I be talking about with you, Glenn. I'm so sorry that I didn't make my whole situation about y'all asses. I'm so sorry that I want to elevate my life and just be all I could be. I am so sorry that I just want to do what I want to do and be who I want to be that interrupts your ass. I'm so sorry, Glenn, that I just can't do it. What you want, Glenn? You want these mashed potatoes? You want these green beans? You want the rest of my chicken? What you want from me? Oh my God. And the Oscar goes to Letitia Pearson for Best Dramatic Scene on OWN Network's Belle Collective. I said, Letitia, if you don't take that shit and stop. Because here's how I feel. Number one, it ain't gonna matter if you a boss or you his wife. It's about the control factor of y'all marriage. And now he's been able to call the shots. You've been able to sit at home and do whatever you want to do. You don't have your own money. You don't have anything outside of this marriage. And that is what he's been doing to control you. And now that you're starting to see it, the only sure way to be is out, because he's not going to change his ways, Letitia. I don't understand why you're not seeing that. He can't cheat in peace no more because somebody around the corner got a DM of him talking, something. Now that y'all are on television, he can't, be the center of attention because you have your own shine. So it's like, Letitia, nothing is going to change with this marriage. This is who he is. This is who you married. Nothing's going to change. So I don't know what you expect us to do as the viewers watching this, because I feel like you did all that huffing and puffing and all this screaming and hollering for you just to still be with him. So what do you want us to do with this, Letitia? Mrs. Best, what do you think Letitia wants us to do with this scene here?
I actually thought the scene was fake. I don't know how anybody could not see through it. I think that's why Carlos King was trying to ask everyone to give them grace, because I think that he's going to lean into Letitia and Glenn's marriage, knowing ahead of time that Letitia and Latrice have made peace. People love to get mad at Glendale, but the person that everybody really should be mad at is Letitia.
Yep.
Get mad at somebody for doing what they've been shown that they are allowed to do with people that they meet. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. All that yelling, all that hollering doesn't mean nothing if you ain't putting him out. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. I've gone through hard times with my husband as well. I got tired of arguing and I said, why don't you call somebody and go somewhere? And he went somewhere for a month. I said, don't come back till I feel like we can talk. In real life, people don't do this shit. Like, people with sense.
Like, they don't.
There's going to be times in your marriage you just do not get along with your spouse sometimes. But is it worth it to sit here and argue and go back and forth and waste time, energy, space, and put up the opportunity to potentially hurt each other or say things we regret? Or is it smarter to be fucking adults and to separate? What are we doing? So, and I'm looking at her and I'm like, you are a married woman asking for celibacy. You are a married woman that is picking fights with your girlfriends because misery loves fucking company and you're miserable, but you're too weak to do anything about it. Like, everything about her is an embarrassment to women, especially to Black women. This is not how you should move. Like, there are women out there that will deal with way less from a man and leave.
I'm trying to tell you.
This shit is either pathetic or it is for the show. Because I'm tired of seeing these people argue. I'm tired of it. And it's like, her good points don't matter. Because like Keywan said, if you're not about action, and this is why Glendale doesn't care and sits there and it's like, oh, okay. And it doesn't even care what she says. And it's like, well, yeah, I would like that. I miss this old person. Like, because he knows she's not about action. So if you're not about action, you're wasting his time, my time, the camera's time, the audience's time. Like, if you're not going to do anything, we don't care to hear you yell. Shut the fuck up. Go hop on a treadmill. There are other things that Letitia could be fucking doing than yelling at this man that she is not going to leave. So I'm not going to be nice to this wench no more. Go fix your wig. Go lose some weight. Go open and make a real business instead of the bullshit that you got going on. There are other things that she could be doing than yelling at this man that she's not going to leave. That in real time today, she's posting on social media.
Yep.
Out at functions and family events, acting like the big old dumbass happy family. When the reality is they're an embarrassment to Black people, to the idea of Black love, to the idea of Black marriage, to the idea of what Black people in the South that they live in fucking fought for us to have. They didn't fight for us to be fucking fools. It's a disgrace. I didn't mean to go off like that, but I'm so tired of this couple.
I am too. No, I'm glad that you said this, because to me, it's kind of like, because it goes back to Carlos saying to the viewers, we need to give them grace. And we're like, well, what are we giving them grace for? There's no problem here. They're acting.
Let me tell you this. Carlos King also allowed EJ Johnson to say that when he walks into a room, he eats the girls up. So I don't give a damn what he got to say either, because apparently Carlos King don't watch the shows the way that we're watching them, because if he did, they would see that they ain't shit and that we are tired of this storyline. This is why I feel like Letitia and Glenn can go. They can go. They can go. They can go. They have nothing to bring. And Keywan said she had the nerve to have smoke for Tambra, because Tambra will force her to be accountable. She's also just like her husband. And that's what I see week after week, because Letitia avoids accountability just like Glenn does.
Yep.
The only difference between Letitia and Glenn is Letitia avoids accountability without getting angry and trying to come at people like he's on a football field. She gets messy and goes and does stuff behind the scenes, but they don't bring anything to the show. They bring it down. You have people on the show who we've learned now, and it looks like Carrie connected it, but you have people on the show who are not comfortable to be on the show because they say it's not a safe space. Well, I know you'll get into it later, but all of that come back to Letitia or her husband in some way.
We actually can go to that scene, because you said it all, and I was mirroring that exact same response, because I feel like, to me, this is so stupid to watch when at the end of the day y'all are still going to be with each other.
Yes, it's a waste of time. It's not fun drama, Carlos, if they're posting, and this is why some networks say don't even post on social media until the whole season has aired, because at the very least then we wouldn't have known or could have had hope in our little delusional minds that maybe she would have broken up with him or something. But it's like, you posting constantly with this man.
And and here's the thing, y'all, because I want to say this. I'm not saying that she should just automatically leave Glenn. I'm not saying that at all. If she really wants to be with him, I'd rather her just say that. I really want to be with you. I really want you. You are the end all be all. Yes, you done cheated on me 7-11 times, but at the end of the day, I still love you. You just can't do that again. If she would have came at like that, then I probably would have more respect for her. Because then at the end of the day, you're saying that these are the issues I have with you. Because I'm going to tell you, the issue she has with Glenn, it's not that he's controlling. It's not that he's always popping up. It's none of, she has no problem with none of that. It's the cheating. But the problem is she doesn't have a way out. So she's scrambling, trying to take every opportunity she can to get some independence, when you just need to leave the situation and build independence. You cannot just get it staying in the situation, because it will never look like that for you. There's nothing that will ever look like independence if you're still stuck in the situation. You need to leave and then build from there, because then that's when it looks like independence, and that's when it looks like you have created an avenue for yourself. Not being in a marriage hoping to create it and then it's enough for you to leave. That doesn't work. Ladies, that does not work.
You're really setting yourself up in court, especially if you have no prenup or postnuptial.
Yes.
Because your dumbass is sitting up here talking about you want to build your independence, and then the moment you get your independence and leave him, he gonna take everything that you got, because you were the only way that he could be on TV and not on that damn boat.
Exactly.
And she just does not see that. But if she wants to, what they say, let sleeping dogs lie, or whatever the term is, let this bitch lay down. Put a muzzle on her. Let her have it. She can have it.
Yes. Absolutely. So the last scene we're gonna talk about is the ladies meet up for this, very church funeral scene because they want to bury the last Belle Collective and start anew. But in order to do that, they need to bring all the ladies together so that way we can see who's in, who's out. What can they bring? What can they bring? How can this be a fresh sister circle? Now, this is headed with Latrice and Letitia. They're bringing all the people together. Everyone walks in their best funeral attire except for Carrie. I don't know where Carrie thought she was going. I don't know. She thought this was a costume Halloween party or whatever, but Carrie looked crazy as hell. And I said, Carrie, you're not finna worry me. You're not finna worry me with this wig and this pleather outfit. You is not finna worry me. Okay? Because everybody looked at Carrie was like, where the hell she thinks she going? They said, Carrie ready for the after party. Carrie ain't ready for, she ready for the, what's they call it? The wake. Because I've only been to one funeral, and unfortunately it was my dad's funeral. I don't know what, I think it's a wake. I think that's what that's called, the after party where people eat. That's where Carrie was going. So they're talking about, we want the Belle Collective to, refresh and be anew. And we want everything to, be well with everybody. We want everyone to get along. We want everyone to trust each other. And Tambra says, well, hold up, y'all. So I gotta let y'all know, I got to leave early because London Simone has her first little program and I cannot miss it. And I said, oh, Lord, here we go. So then they all look at Tambra and was like, well, Tambra, there's moments where we feel like you don't show up and you don't, really share with us what's going on with you. And Latrice says, well, I don't know about the rest of them, but she definitely shares with me. I know everything about Tambra, and she definitely opens up to me. So I don't know what's going on with the rest of them. And thank you, because I did not know what that was, JB. I've only been to one funeral in my life. And yes, I did not know what that was. The repass. That's where she looked like she going. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I agree with this, Keywan. Thank you for putting this out there, because this scene was the case in point of that. So, So ladies feels that Tambra does not give and Tambra does not, really let us know or into her life as much. And Tambra is looking confused, like, well, what do y'all want to know? Like, what is this? And then she goes, this has not really been the safest space for me. Like, without bringing up that situation, she was trying her hardest not to say, I don't trust Letitia and Marie because of what they did behind my back, and then tried to bring it on my face for a moment in camera. Tambra, that was your moment, and you failed us. Because Tambra could have said, when I tried to be open and vulnerable with y'all, it was thrown in my face a situation that has legal paperwork back into my face to try to shun me and embarrass me on national TV. So you're damn right. I don't trust Letitia, and I don't trust Marie.
Mental health advocate and expert, and
yes,
the one who claims to be a girl's girl and the heart of the Bells.
Thank you.
Like, girl.
So y'all want Tambra, and I can't believe I'm about to defend Tambra right now, y'all. I don't even like Tambra, and I'm about to defend her because I felt like that was bullshit for them to single Tambra out. And like Carrie, hold on, I'm gonna get to it. So Letitia said, well, Tambra, do you even want to be in the collective? And Tambra says that, I feel like there's growth here, and I feel like, we have a lot to offer and everything, and just kind of skating around the fact of a yes or no. Because I would have said, hell no, I don't want to be in this Belle Collective, and this is my last day. But Tambra, for whatever reason, wants to be on this TV show. So she's not going to say that. But there's no way in hell I would still be a part of this Belle Collective. No way in hell. And as I said, Tambra, you let us down. Because we would have had your back if you said, the reason why I'm not giving y'all my life and the reason why I'm not letting y'all know what's up is because when I gave y'all something, y'all fucked me over. So fuck y'all. This is what it is. I'm just going to show up to scenes, smile, he, and do what I got to do. Next. And Carrie was like, well, are y'all asking her, does she want to be here? Like, are y'all asking her, does she need to make a choice? Like, what is going on here? Everyone's like, no, we're not asking her to make a choice, but she's not sharing her life with us in the same way the rest of us are. So we're just asking her, can she be transparent? Can she, do that? And I'm just like, okay, Letitia, Had it not been for Glendale trying to sleep with people in the friend group, would y'all have been transparent about y'all shit? Because we still don't know who that other lady was that had the alleged baby. We still don't know who that lady is. That lady ain't mums the word. That lady ain't put out her name. That lady ain't went on no blogs. That lady ain't put out anything about her and Glendale's past. So where is your transparency with that? Because y'all started out transparency. So why y'all didn't go full detail? There's a alleged baby out there. Why we don't know nothing about today? Where to go now? Marie, had it not been for the evening news, would you have been transparent and let us know what's going on in your life? Because all we know is Cedric, someone, put a hit out on you apparently because of your house situation or somebody in your family. Unfortunately, that's so sad. We're glad you walked away from it. We don't know nothing else about you. But Tambra's not being transparent. Now, I'm going to agree with y'all. Tambra don't give shit on the show. We ain't got scenes with her by herself. We had one time where she had a scene with her and Demond without the rest of the collective group. So I agree with y'all, but at the same time, y'all need to make y'all points valid. But Tambra gets up, she says, London Simone comes first, so I have to get out of here. But I love you guys, and I'm just like, girl, Tambra, I'd have told them all to kiss my ass, and I'm gonna be here, but I ain't gonna be up here with y'all. I'm just gonna have a show by myself.
Why did she show up if she had to leave so fast?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, Tambra.
If you have to skip the event, I get that Tambra's a new mom, but I don't like when people act like busier than they actually are. People try to perceive and look to have more going on than they really do. Like, there's always somebody busier than you, Tambra. There's always somebody with more kids, less help, and more events balancing. Just don't show up if that's the case. Like, I don't like when people do that. That did annoy me. However, I do see both sides of things with Tambra. I understand why she didn't say anything, because when she spoke about not feeling safe in the group, Marie and Letitia look guilty as hell. They know what they did with her and know how wrong it is. And I think they know it's some of the worst things that they've done on the show, what they did to Tambra, but they don't want that to be discussed, especially Marie, because she has had a huge redemption. People used to not be able to stand her. Now people tolerate her and she provides comic relief to the show. Letitia, I will always look at this bitch like she's weak. She's a puppet for Marie, a puppet for her husband, but want to be a pretend boss and mean to everybody else. She knows she's wrong. I don't like how they try to flip things on Tambra, either in this scene. You can't move forward with people unless you're accountable and acknowledge the past. And a lot of people like to have the attitude of, well, I don't want to go backwards in the past if we're moving forward. Well, guess what? You cannot move forward without acknowledging the past. So I think Tambra will always be closed off until her, Marie, and Letitia have that talk. But I don't see her being able to have the talk with them separately or together ever. I just don't think she'll ever feel safe. Tambra gives me the person who, once she doesn't feel safe, she'll never open up again. She's just not safe with you.
Yeah. And that's her right though. Like, for me, Tambra has a right.
She needs to leave the show.
Yes.
You can have the right to do something, but you're on a TV show. I don't come on YouTube to talk about people's rights. We come on YouTube to discuss entertainment and participation in the show. And it seems like she don't want to participate. We now know it's because she don't feel safe, which we've all fucking known before. But now it's giving, you're going to use your daughter as a way to get out of having to interact with the group. And nobody can really come at you for that, because as she said, Linda Simone comes first. Whenever parents remind you their kids come first, it's not because other people don't know. It's because they're using that as a way to say, don't question me about this no more when it comes to the baby. So I think Tambra's going to do that. She needs to go. Because even
I agree.
Beef with Letitia and them and being exposed, she was boring to me. But
I agree. I feel like she's just here to, make the group look full, and she's just, just there. And I'm just like, okay, well, we need something from you. I don't care if you in the kitchen cutting up some greens and talking with your mama. Like, I need to see something.
And then I want to know, this is random, whoever's idea it was to make this a funeral, I thought it was distasteful. I get they were trying to joke, but in my opinion, where I'm from, the way we move, we don't play with funerals like that.
No.
Y'all could have had a good talk or called a collective meeting, created your own chamber of commerce. You could have done a lot, but don't play with funerals. I didn't like that at all.
I didn't like that either.
I wouldn't have showed up in all black either. I'll show up when somebody has actually gone to the upper room.
It reminds me of when Quad jumped out of that casket that one season of Married to Medicine.
Funny either.
That was terrible. I was like, Quad, like, why would you do that?
Some stuff you just don't play with, and death is one of them. But Letitia, we don't want Shantae.
We don't want Shantae. And I feel like we're gonna see enough of Shantae next week. And
Letitia just gonna end up beefing if she come on the show, because Shantae keep going hard for Letitia, and then Letitia does not reciprocate the way someone would when your friend go hard for you. So if she do come on the show, it's just gonna end their friendship, and then that's another friend Letitia falls out with.
Yep. So y'all, we gonna talk about this last scene. This is Carrie said that her husband and her were pillow talking, and I guess what's being said around the guys is that allegedly Mike has a baby on the way. And Selena was like, who Mike? My Mike got a baby on the way? Oh, no. Because Selena said, oh, no, if Mike got a baby on the way, oh, no, we ain't getting married this year. We ain't doing nothing this year. Mike got a baby on the way. No, ma'am, nuh-uh. And I'm just looking like, oh, my God. Mrs. Best, do you believe this storyline of Mike having a baby on the way?
I don't believe anything until they actually introduce it properly. And if Carrie, here's my thing, Carrie, you were doing good trying to lead the collective, but you've now chosen the kindest person on this show, kind and ditzy as it may be, but you chose the kindest person who's the least vindictive person on this show to come for. 2, I pillow talk with Mr. Oh So Best all the time. I'm never gonna repeat pillow talk. That's weird. You just threw your husband under the bus, and yourself, and Selena, and Mike, and whoever brought the rumor to the group, because of course they're gonna want to get to the bottom of it. So that's 2. The third thing, you come in this group and you say, well, I want to bring this up since we're getting it all out. Carrie knows that this should have been a one-on-one conversation between her and Selena. That's what she should have done. And if she was smart and thinking in a way that does help the show and herself, she would have done that, because that would have given her more camera time. It would have given her the opportunity to bond with someone and make another ally on the show. But instead you say it, let's just call a spade around Letitia and the fuck is her name? Marie. Like, I wouldn't say anything around Marie or Letitia, because they're going to take it. They're going to gossip. And even Latrice to a certain extent, because Latrice would be cool, but the moment she don't like you, she will gossip.
Yeah.
So she should have pulled them aside, and she knew better. I would also like to ask, what was going on with her hair? Carrie's hair gets worse and worse. It truly is a hair gate.
It is. And I said this in I was trying not to put too much reflection and energy on that hair.
No, but I have to, because I haven't commented on the hair myself. And I'm going to say it's a tragedy. It's tragic. That's all.
I just hate to see a beautiful woman in structure, because Carrie is very beautiful. But I just hate to see when it comes to hair that it's never
that your hair, your lipstick, your nails, and your outfit and shoes all have to match. She looked like a big ass red pack.
It's just like it's worse than that. She looked like a Black and Mild that was lit. Like, I'm just not for this. Like, Carrie, do better next time. But I'm gonna say this. I feel like I don't know what to believe, because Mike is a man of few words, and unfortunately he do look like the type. I'm sorry, Mike, no stray to you decided to come on Belle Collective. He do look like the type, but I really don't believe I don't believe it in the same instance. I don't believe it's like a newborn. I believe maybe it's another child somewhere that has not probably been mentioned. And I do think Selena may know about it. But for shits and giggles, for reality TV fodder, we're just gonna make this big old wow moment because it's given Glenn and Letitia Circuit season 1. It really is. It really is given that, and I don't know where to land with this one because, like I said, he looked like the type, but at the same time,
I feel like it's probably an old rumor that's floating around because gotten out that he's on TV, but it just wasn't right for Carrie to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Carrie's doing. She lost me there.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like, why this not the time, nor this is the place, nor this is not the group, nor this ain't the moment. I don't know why you decide to do this, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how this gets confronted. We'll see if it's true. We'll see if it's not true. We'll see where it lands. I'm just like, Carrie, don't do this no more. We like you. We want to keep you in the collective, but not if you're going to be messy like this and just out your pillow talk. Keep that in the bedroom. That's all we say. Keep that in the bedroom. But that was Belle Collective, y'all. This was a very crazy ending to an episode. Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think Tambra should leave the show? Like I've been saying since I first got on YouTube. Should she stay? Maybe try to make new, relationships with the ladies.
Lady go raise London Simone and have her separate account from Demond on her own.
Mrs. Best has spoken, y'all, but we're going to head over to Mrs. Best's channel so we can do Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to my replay game. I get a lot of views for this show, and y'all do be watching all the way through. It would be nice if y'all could hit that subscribe button for me so it can match the views that I get. I appreciate everybody. We'll see you guys on Mrs. Best channel. Be sure to click the link so we can get over there and give Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because let me tell y'all not gonna want to miss this episode. This is one we actually finna go in on. So y'all make sure y'all there to see it. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.